let's go to the next topic, which is the visual medium. What are some of the things that you think are very important for people to understand as it relates to what makes good video?
Aesthetically, I think the backdrop needs to be interesting for people. Um, you have to have good audio coming from a guy that's in a sounds like I'm in a bathroom right now.
I'm waiting for the toilet to flush, dude.
You have to have great lighting, right? You got to make
Yeah.
sure your face is lit up, and the video quality needs to be like good. And you know, you don't have to get fancy. I mean, I've shot 90% of my content using an iPhone and a wireless Bluetooth mic. Um, it's but you need those three things. You have to have a very interesting background or an interesting background. So, funny story. You know how a lot of my videos, I'm out and about doing something.
Mhm.
Well, we stumbled across that strategy because my background wasn't very interesting at home. It was during the pandemic. Like I had a painting on the wall, like I do now, and that was it. Like I had some lights, and our views were just not there. And I was talking to James about this, and like, okay, let's have you go do something. Okay, we need a videographer. Maybe ask Kimberly to help you record. That wasn't going to happen, by the way. So
She's got other things to do.
yeah, exactly. But go get some coffee. Go do this. Wash your car. Make it do like we ran what's called a parallel story, meaning like I'm talking about home ownership while you're trying to figure out what I'm gonna do next. And it just engaged the audience to continue to watch the entire reel because they're like, okay, is he getting a frappuccino? Is he gonna clean all four wheels of his car? You know, so that's a really good strategy if you have like somebody to help you record. Highly recommend it.
Let me ask you about that. So how does, and by the way, I like that picture that you have of Chong behind you.
Yeah, that's when he was 21.
Exactly. We love you, Chonger, most of the time. Um, so the the strategy of so you go out. I want to go out in the field with you for a minute. So I've seen the one where you were washing a car. I've seen you go get a frappuccino. So I totally know what you're talking about. So tell us what that looks like. So you're like you get there and you have one person that has an iPhone in their hand and you have the Bluetooth wireless and that's it. And then they're just following you around. Is that all it takes, or is there something more sophisticated than that?
Pretty much. Yeah. They're following me around with this with an iPhone.
Hmm.
And I also want to say, like, if you're gonna go for that strategy, I think it's best to record with an iPhone or a cell phone. You don't want to walk in with like a big camera, right? Into like a Starbucks or something like that. People will stop you for sure.
Hmm. Hmm. So, okay, so the background and you being in motion, you have found really draw people in because it creates this component of wonder where this is going, wonder what he's going to do next, et cetera.
Right.
And the name of the game. So it's interesting because one would think, oh, well, but then that's distracting from the content. If they're worried about is he getting whipped cream on his frappuccino, that's not going to have them taking in the content. But I suppose then that the name of the game is to just keep them watching, because if they watch in their entirety, that's what gets things to go more viral. Or is that what's the strategy behind that?
Exactly. So Instagram is constantly changing their algorithm, but one thing that's been pretty consistent is if they identify that your reel is being watched all the way through the end, it's telling Instagram that, oh, that's a good reel. We should post it out for more people to see. Right. And if it's being watched like multiple times, oh, that's another good reason why we should push this reel out for more people to see. So it's just a couple of the algorithm staples that we try to follow. They IG is constantly just changing what they deem as important, by the way. So I'm not an algorithm expert, but I do know that those two things will help push your reels out to more viewers.
Yeah, I was talking to Renee Rodriguez yesterday about this topic, and he knows a lot more, way more than I do for sure about the subject matter of social media marketing and all that. I actually don't know anything about it. I mean, very little at the end of the day compared to you or to him. And one of the things that he was sharing with me is that a lot, you know, like let's just say I post a reel from this episode with you onto my Instagram account. The majority of the people that actually get that reel are not the people that follow me. Is that accurate?
Correct.
That's so odd. Like what? I couldn't believe that when he told me that. It like, cause I sometimes I'll look and I'll be like, wow, I didn't get very many views. And I thought that that was a good reel, but that's because it's not going out to my network in most cases. Tell us more about that. Cause I never knew that.
Yeah, so reels are for your network to see, but they also primarily go out to outside of the network. So people that are not following you, because the idea is for your reels to gain you like different eyes, right? And that's how you can grow your account, by posting reels, because strangers are seeing your stuff. And if they like what they're seeing, they'll follow or click on your page. And if they like more, they'll follow. Stories and posts, like if I post an image or if I do a story that disappears after 24 hours, only my followers can see them. So Reels is for you to grab new set of eyeballs. Stories are for you to engage with your community that's following you. That's why, like, I'm doing stories now. I'm doing like 6-7 stories a day, because I'm giving to the community and I'm giving them an opportunity to like see behind the curtains, if you will.
When you say you're doing 6 or 7 stories a day, that sounds very labor intensive. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, it does sound labor intensive, but it's really not. Like, for example, if I'm going to the gym, I'm recording myself while I'm in the car driving to the gym, talking about like, man, it was a challenge to get out of bed this morning, but I'm finally here at the gym. I'm gonna work out for 30 minutes. See you guys later. Hey, I'm cooking. I can post a picture of like me cooking breakfast for the kids, and that's a story. So they're very quick. They're not rehearsed. You're not editing them, right? You're just giving bits and pieces of your life, whether it's personal or business, to your community.